Seth if you let him get going because he's got some of his brother in him.
Yes.
And we know what Patty Mills can do, and we know what Joe Harris, he's won the three-point shooting contest, okay? So you've got all those pieces there. So you have a credible basketball team that I doubt Kevin is going to be very happy with because there's no longer the Harden, Kyrie superpower, the star power, superstar power that you had going in. Well, as you said, that was a cataclysmic fail for every possible reason.
Yeah.
So if you look at Kevin's big picture, I said from the start, weirdly, as gifted as he is, he's follower, not leader. Okay. Some gifted players are just natural-born leaders. You are a natural-born leader. You can't make it up. You can't be taught it. You can't be coached. You either have it or you do not have it. Right. Leadership. He didn't ever have any leadership. So he says, I can't take Russ anymore. I cannot win a championship with him as my primary decision maker. So I'm out. And I don't care what any of y'all say out there in social media land. I don't even care. You can condemn me all you want. I'm going because I'm in my 10th year. I have no rings to show. I've won scoring titles. I've won an MVP, but I got no rings. I'm going to go maximize my ring chances. I'm going with those guys in Golden State. Wait a second. You had him down 3-1. Yeah, but I was stuck with him. Okay. You go, and to his credit, he rose and shone against LeBron, grill to grill, face to face. And he wins back-to-back finals MVPs and 2 rings. And he just said, I'm good. And then obviously ruptured his Achilles after that and looked like he might be coming back to lead them to another finals championship. Okay, so he says, I've done all that. I'm good to go. And he's got a little bit of Kyrie going on where I don't know that winning is a huge priority because he did it twice. And he's like, I've been there and done all that.
Well, I think he wants to win, Skip, but I think KD looks at like, I'm going to put my time in. I love my craft. I'm going to give you everything I possibly can. But if I don't win, okay.
Okay, I did. I showed you I could do that. And I was the reason that team got over the hump against LeBron. So he knows he's got that on his legacy. Well, then he makes the oddest, weirdest choice. He loved Kyrie, and I use that as past tense because I think they have fallen completely out over vaccination. That's when because remember, Kevin sided with the team on that, right? Like, send him home. Yeah, send him home. I've had enough of it.
I don't know, Skip. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what would it take for somebody to actually tick Kevin Durant off enough that he's done fooling with him. Because I don't think he's done fooling with Kyrie. I think he accepts Kyrie for who he is. He's like, Kyrie is Kyrie, I'm KD.
Okay, but it was set up. And Kevin clearly made it his choice was to go to the Knicks. It's the Mecca of basketball. It's Madison Square Garden. And he's like, Kyrie, I'm putting some words in his mouth, but he's basically saying, Kyrie, we could go across the Brooklyn Bridge here. We can go over there and do Manhattan. And if we win a championship in Manhattan, you want to talk about made men, for historically made men. They haven't won a championship since 73. Okay, so Kevin's leaning is that way, but Kyrie's the leader of this twosome, and he says, no, I grew up loving the Nets, and they're in Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn's big, and it is. It's a great place to live. It used to not be, and all of a sudden, it's the destination for a lot of people who want to live in Brooklyn. And he talks, Kevin's like, okay, if you say Brooklyn, I'll go to Brooklyn. So he follows them there. Was that not fatefully, if you look at the big picture of his career, was that not a bad idea? It was just a bad idea. You followed the wrong guy to the wrong place at the wrong time. And then James says, I went out of Houston. I want to go up there. And Kevin's like, okay, come on up, right? And that turned out to be a bad idea, but he left over Kyrie. He couldn't take the vaccination issue, and he just said, I got to get out of here because I can't win with this guy because he's too undependable, Okay, so he quits his way out of Brooklyn to Philly, and all of a sudden, talk about left holding the bag, because that's all Kevin's left holding a great bag. He's got money. I think he saves his money. I think he's a shrewd entrepreneur. You know, that is no issue for you. You don't talk about generational wealth.
He's straight on that end.
Who is he? Okay, so he's left holding 2 bags of money, right? And then what? I don't know. It's like you followed the wrong. And so people say, you should have stayed in Golden State. Well, he could have. But I don't think that would have made him any happier.
That would have made him any happier. No. Skip, honestly, I think he's happier. Yeah, it didn't go the way he planned it, but I think he's happier in Brooklyn than he was. I'm not so sure he was ever happy in Golden State.
I'm not either.
He just had to do
and you kept pointing out, Kevin, no matter how great you are on the basketball court, you're never going to be bigger than that little baby-faced assassin.
No,
He's it.
He's it.
He's homegrown.
Yeah.
He's theirs.
He's the bait.
They watched him grow up.
They did.
Okay.
They did.
You can't rise above that, no matter what.
But I do think, Skip, I think Kevin Durant he's not happy the way it turned out. I'm sure he wanted to win more, but he's like, but I did it my way. I did what I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, Skip, if you do something, it's like coaches. I'd rather lose my way than win someone else's way.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant says, I would rather be in this situation that I chose than be somewhere else because that's where you guys wanted me to be.
That's it.
That's how I don't know Kevin Durant, Skip. I just watch him. But just listening at him talk and hearing what he says and deducing what he said, he's like, I'm going to do things my way. And then I can live whatever outcome that comes after my decision. I can live with that, but I'm not going to let people, because for the longest time he said, I did what others wanted me to do. This was the first time, this was my decision.
Yeah.
What was the best for KD?
Okay.
So he felt this was the best decision for KD. Guess what? I think he's going to think the next best decision is to get his butt up out of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Okay. And go where? How? Again, Joe Tsai holds all the cards in that hand because of what you just said. He's still in the first year of a 4-year contract as we speak.
He ain't got 3 years left. He got 3 years left. If I'm Kevin Durant, I ain't tell him nothing because I know you're not going to send me where I want to go anywhere. So I'm going to say, man, you know what? Won't you send me to Sacramento? So they ain't going to send him to Sacramento because he want to go to Sacramento. They mess around and send him to Phoenix or they send him to the Lakers. They'll send him somewhere where they don't think he wants to be. But you're right. He doesn't have any leverage for the simple fact is that he has 3 years left.
Yeah.
3 years, Skip. That's not like Kyrie. He can walk out the door at this summer. Kyrie was going to walk out of the door, and they were not going to get anything. At least they get a draft pick, some kid that's in the 6th or 7th grade.
Yep.
Or maybe he's in Europe somewhere. But that's the draft pick they're going to get. Mm-hmm. And they got two players as opposed to getting nothing. But KD chose this. How you feel sorry for something somebody chose?
You cannot. He went right down the wrong road twice.
Right.
Twice. Yeah. He followed Kyrie, and then he said, "Oh, you'll give me 4 more years max dollar? Oh, I'll take that.
I'll take it."
Okay. Well, you're stuck with it.
You're stuck. But I still believe he's going to ask for a trade. That's not going to stop him from asking for a trade this summer, even though he has 3 years left on that contract.
Yeah, but it's funny. He doesn't seem to care how he looks, but he's still, to me, the thinnest skinned superstar I've ever closely observed because he has had burner accounts on Twitter.
He looks at Skip. This is how he looks at it. Y'all going to talk about me either way.
Yep.
Y'all going to talk about me no matter what I do. So how about you talk about me doing what I want to do as opposed to letting others dictate what I should do and still talk about me? Because if I'd have stayed in Golden State, you're going to say, well, you stayed in Golden State because you couldn't win nowhere else. You riding coat. They're calling the bus driver. They call you ain't no bus driver. So he's like,
yep.
But y'all going to talk about me regardless. So let me go ahead and do what I want to do and let y'all talk about, but at least I'm doing what I want to do. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with anything that Kevin Durant's done. I was like, damn, bro. They already loaded at Golden State. You make them unbeatable. At least it was a fair fight. We was on the edge of our seats. We didn't know how the game was going to go. Agreed. Who the hell was going to beat Golden State with Kevin Durant, with Steph, Clay, and Draymond in a 7-game series?
Well, Kawhi wouldn't have that extra ring if Kevin had been healthy.
Hell no.
Yeah.
And then Pacheco shot.
It'll be interesting to see how this chess piece affects the rest of the trade deadline picture. That deadline rapidly approaching 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. All right, Shannon, I think I earned some beignets back. Next up, my favorite.